All right, Kelsey, let's talk a little bit more about voting and integrity issues. Judge Andrew Napolitano, who served as a New Jersey Superior Court judge for almost a decade, joining me right now. Thank you so much, Judge Napolitano. I'm going to make this as simple and clear as possible, and I hope that you'll be the expert here to make sense of it all for us. Is it at all intrusive to the voter or violating their rights, what's happening in Wisconsin, in Green Bay, ordering poll watchers access, expanded access, to watch voters more closely?
Well, good morning, Adrienne. It's a pleasure to be on with you. I mean, for the most part, and the short answer to your question is no, it is not a violation for poll watchers to observe the actual mechanics of voting. I mean, voting is a governmental process, and the governmental process must have transparency, and that's pretty much the way the courts have ruled. As you know, there are cases all over the country on this, and the judges seem to be coming down on the side of transparency. Now, there's transparency and there's transparency. If the poll watchers are just watching to make sure that ballots do have dates on them and the dates are accurate and addresses on them and that they're completely filled out, that's no problem. But if the poll watchers are attempting to deter people from voting by intimidating them, that, of course, interferes with the governmental process, interferes with the constitutional right to vote, and that would be actionable in a lawsuit. So we've seen judges go both ways. For the most part, where there's no evidence of interference or coercion, poll watchers can watch to their heart's content.
Okay. Article 1 of the Constitution. Thank you very much. There's this deep distrust in some parts of the country as to how ballots are tallied. Of course, we've seen that since before 2016. In Cochise County, Arizona, the officials there actually ordered hand counts, despite the county attorney there warning it violates state law. Then in Nevada, in Nye County, officials will start hand counting ballots, mail-in ballots this week. What do you have to say about hand counting the ballots? I mean, is this something that Americans should be paying closer attention to?
Yes, Adrienne, because hand counting is slow, methodical, subject to error, and of course, subject to tampering in a way that digital counting is not. In some states, hand counting is prohibited. In some states, it's mandated. It's the beauty of our system. You know, the elections, we don't have one national election. We have 51, I'm counting the District of Columbia, separate elections. So this is really a local issue based upon local law. But I have to tell you, if they are resorting to hand counting, that's pretty much the last straw. That means that all the high-tech means that the government has invested in its voting apparatus has failed. And we're using a procedure that they used at the time of the Civil War.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that puts it in perspective. In Pennsylvania, you know, the state Supreme Court couldn't decide whether undated and incorrectly dated ballots violated federal law. So now a court's ordering election officials not to count those ballots. Should the date be considered?
Yes, the date should be considered, and the issue is exclusively up to the states. So the Supreme Court of the United States is not going to tell election officials in Pennsylvania whether or not they should count ballots that are undated or have improper addresses on them. Only the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania can do that. And the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania has sided with election integrity. If there's no date on it, or if there's an improper address on it, how do we know that it's a valid ballot? That's the judgment call that the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania has made. That word should get out to election officials. So if somebody shows up with a ballot that doesn't have a date on it or an address on it, the election official should say, put the date on it, put your address on it, otherwise this is not going to count.
Judge Napolitano, thank you very much for being with us this morning and making it so plain.
Pleasure to be with you, Adrienne.
Thank you. Still ahead.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.